Okay, so you have all of these sinking funds, or maybe not that many. No matter how many you have, you still want to make sure that you have enough money in those accounts for when you need them, right? In last week's video, I went over what sinking funds are, how to get started, and all that stuff. And if you haven't watched that one, I highly suggest you watch that one first, because in today's video, I am covering 5 different ways that you can ensure that your sinking fund goals are met. And if you combine a couple of these methods together, you might be able to reach those goals a whole lot faster. But first, if you are new to my channel, hi everyone, my name is Lizbet, and I make videos that help you plan for a better financial future while living your best life today. So if that is something that interests you, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on new weekly videos. Okay, so let's get into it. Starting with number 1, include your sinking funds as a line item in your budget. So what do I mean by this? For example, if I have 3 different sinking funds at the same time, the first one being Christmas, the second one being my daughter's birthday, and the third one being our insurance premium that comes out every 6 months versus monthly. And I want to make sure that I have the money that I need for these 3 different sinking funds when I need them. Christmas obviously being in December, my daughter's birthday is also in December, and insurance comes out every June and December. For Christmas, I want $1,000. For my daughter's birthday, I want $500, and for insurance, I need $600. So I have 10 months until Christmas, I have 10 months until my daughter's birthday, and I have 6 months until our insurance is due. So given this information, I know that I need to save $100 for Christmas, $100 for insurance, and $50 for my daughter's birthday every single month in order to make sure that I have the money that I need when the bill is due or the event happens. So if you combine that together, that means I need to include $250 as a sinking fund line item in my budget so that every month I know that as part of my budget, I have to put $250 aside for these sinking funds. This is obviously the most simple and straightforward way of ensuring that you have the money you need. And this is definitely one of the most common ways that a lot of people do it, myself included. Although this option is the most common, just keep in mind that it is not the only way that you can reach those sinking fund goals. There are other ways, so let's move on to number 2. So when you feel like you can't completely put a line item just for sinking funds because you don't quite have enough disposable income in your budget to make it a line item, then I highly suggest you increase some of your bills' budgeted amounts. That way, because you over budget it, you will always have a little bit extra to put towards those sinking funds. Let me give you an example. Our electric bill tends to vary very much because I live in Texas. And so one way that I can kind of help myself, both in terms of budgeting and in terms of my sinking funds, is by way over budgeting how much my electric will be. My electric can range between $80 in the wintertime and $130, $140 in the summertime. So I tend to budget on the very high end every single month, no matter if it's winter or summer. So I budget about $150 for electric, and that means that during the winter months, when my electric is a lot lower, I have a bigger gap of money that I can put aside and put towards my sinking funds. Now, obviously during the summertime, there's a lot less that I can put towards sinking funds, but I do have that to look forward to as we get closer to winter, and as we get closer to Christmas and my daughter's birthday, I know that I'll have a little bit extra to put towards those sinking funds if I haven't yet reached my goal. Now, I definitely only suggest this method in terms of your normal bills and not your variable spending. So like your electric bill, your water bill, your gas bill, your cell phone bill, your internet, those things, increase them a little bit where they're still within budget, but you can almost ensure that you're going to have a little bit extra to put towards your sinking funds. However, when it comes to your grocery spending or your personal spending or your miscellaneous spending, I don't recommend you increasing those to have a little extra, because what happens with spending is that you tend to, how do I put it? Spend it all. I feel like the more grocery budget I give myself, the more groceries I will buy. And so that's why I don't really think that adding more to your variable spending in terms of budgeting that way is going to necessarily help you with sinking funds. Now you can definitely challenge yourself throughout the month and say, this month I want to save $50 from my variable spending and put it towards my sinking funds. Challenge yourself, why not? But don't assume that it's always going to work out, because sometimes you just need that extra money for spending or for groceries or whatever the case might be, as opposed to your bills, which are easier to project as far as how much they'll actually be. By the way, if you are in need of more one-on-one money coaching help, anything from paying off debt, increasing your savings, preparing yourself for a home, or even increasing your credit score, I can help you with that. If you are interested, there's a link down below that goes over exactly what I offer. All right, so method number 3 is to use those money-making apps like Fetch, Ibotta, Upside, and many others that I'm sure you will all tell me in the comments below. I love trying out new money apps. It's like a hobby of mine, especially while I'm breastfeeding my baby in the middle of the night. Definitely comes in handy to make a little bit of extra cash. So the way that I take advantage of this is I use the apps that are the most convenient to me, Fetch being one of the most convenient ones because you just upload receipts. And as I gain money on there, once I'm able to cash out, if the app does not offer a PayPal option or a cash option of some kind, they usually will offer very popular gift cards like Amazon or Target. And these are stores that I definitely shop at more often than not. So for example, if I cashed out a $25 Amazon gift card from Fetch, but I want to put those $25 towards a sinking fund, well, the next time that I'm going to shop for something on Amazon that I need, then instead of paying with that budgeted amount, I'll pay with the gift card. So let me give you even a better example. Say I cash out from Fetch with a $25 Amazon gift card. I'm gonna need a new pair of leggings, and the ones from Amazon are actually very good. So those come out with tax to about $25. Now I have a $50 personal spending budget that I take out cash for and put in a cash envelope because that's just how I like to do things. So I'll pay with that $25 Amazon gift card. I'll take the $25 out of my cash envelope and I'll make a transfer to one of my sinking funds. So one, instead of using the Fetch rewards as extra spending money, I'm using it as money that's going towards a sinking fund and using my own personal money for those leggings, but paying it with that gift card. Method number 4 is sell things you don't need or aren't using. I know there are things in your home that you do not need anymore, that you do not use anymore. Get rid of them. There are so many more ways these days to get rid of stuff that to you might be junk, but that others are willing to pay for. Obviously, Facebook Marketplace, Lego, I believe is one of them. I tend to not use those meetup place ones, but I'm very much into Mercari, which is very similar to Poshmark, especially because I have a lot of clothes that my girls are growing out of. I keep what I feel like I'll use in the future, but anything that I don't feel like I'll need again, I want to get rid of it, but I want to try to make some money before. So I normally post things on Mercari. I give it about 30 days or so, and if it hasn't sold, then I'll donate it. That way I'm getting rid of stuff, I'm trying to make a buck out of what I can, and when I can't, I'm able to give it away. So selling your stuff is definitely a way that you can meet those sinking fund goals so much faster if you really focus on just getting rid of everything you don't need. All right, and lastly, method number 5 is to use any extra money you make throughout the year to reach those sinking fund goals. Now, it's almost tax time. Some of y'all might get a tax return. I know a lot of y'all have a side hustle. If you get paid on a bi-weekly basis, then there are 2 times throughout the year where you have a 3 paycheck month. So maybe one of those paychecks can be partly for reaching your sinking fund goals. I know in the past when I used to get paid bi-weekly and had those extra paycheck months, if I was behind on my sinking funds based on the time of the year that I got that 3rd paycheck, then I would make it a point to kind of bring myself up to where I should be with that 3rd paycheck, and then use the rest for debt or for other savings or something that, either myself or my child needed at the time. But the point is that I would always check on my sinking funds and see where I was versus where I wanted to be. And if needed, I would put part of that 3rd paycheck into sinking funds. Oh, and there's also birthday money or Christmas money or any kind of gift money that you might get throughout the year. Now, obviously, nobody wants to spend their gift money on like a Christmas sinking fund or a birthday sinking fund or an insurance sinking fund, right? But what about in the case of a vacation sinking fund? Maybe at that time, it is worth it for you to put your birthday money or your gift money towards that vacation sinking fund, because it is something that you really, really want. And the thing about money goals is that unless you want it bad enough, you won't sacrifice enough. So if you really want that vacation and you want to make sure that you have enough money for that flight or for that hotel or for spending, then I know you'll make the sacrifice and put that gift money towards that fund. All right, so there you have it. 5 ways to ensure that you have the money you need in your sinking funds ready to go for when you need them. Like I said, a combination of some of these methods are going to be the best way for you to reach those sinking fund goals a lot faster. Personally, for sinking funds, I use method number 1 and method number 3. So tell me in the comments down below what methods you are planning on using to reach your sinking fund goals. Now, if you're interested, I do have a free downloadable sinking fund tracker spreadsheet if you want to be able to keep track of all your sinking funds in one Excel sheet. Next week's video is covering how to organize and track your sinking funds, and I'm going to include sort of a tutorial on how to use the sinking fund tracker. But if you're sort of familiar with Excel or Google Sheets and you want that tracker now, then feel free to download it in the description box below. All right, so that's all I have for you today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye, guys.